One lone pubic hair sprung out of my baby smooth pelvis area. I didn't even see it start to grow. It just made its appearance and told me more were coming. I raised my hand to my cheek and felt for hair, and there was no stubble. One pubic hair below. Adulthood cometh. I had a crush on every girl. There was Olivia from history class who stood a foot taller than me. I liked Allison who said hi to me one time in pre-algebra. I was so nervous I turned around and walked away. I thought she was going to make fun of me for being a Jehovah's Witness. I couldn't understand why a pretty girl would want to talk to me. Allison and her friend giggled, and that was my last chance with them. Jennifer Hansen told me that Camille from our congregation had a crush on me. The next day at school, I sprung into action as my lone pubic hair goaded me to. What do you do if you know for sure that a girl likes you? You ask her to go steady. It's the most important thing I learned in 8th grade with the worldly kids. Anyone who was worldly wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. And Jennifer and Camille were Jehovah's Witnesses. Camille liked me, and she wasn't that bad. I needed to kiss someone. Everyone else was kissing each other at school. I saw it all over the hallways. Every girl I could have had a chance to kiss was worldly, and when we talked, I would always walk away when they tried to talk to me. I was a nervous wreck when it came to girls. A few more pubic hairs might have brought more confidence in me, or a mustache. Ben, the Spanish kid in high school, had in homeroom had a mustache. He kissed lots of girls. No mustache, one pubic hair, and Camille liked me. Her breasts were starting to show themselves, and she had full lips over her crooked teeth. Having a girlfriend could show my classmates that being a Jehovah's Witness didn't mean I was a fag like they'd sometimes call me. In typing class, we learned how to type without looking down at the typewriter. The keys had letters blacked out so we couldn't cheat. We copied what was written on the chalkboard. 30 typewriters clacking in unison. It could have been the newsroom at the San Francisco Chronicle, except we all wrote about the history of the American flag. I couldn't salute the flag in school, but I could write about it. Every morning during flag salute, I stood and I held my hand on my belt buckle so it looked like I was pledging allegiance if you saw me from the back. I was tired of answering, "Why don't you salute the flag?" Every year on the first day of school, we had to give our homeroom teachers a note explaining why we didn't, as Jehovah's Witnesses, salute the flag. My 8th grade homeroom teacher read the no flag salute note that I gave him, grunted, and tossed it into a wastebasket, never to be referenced again. In the morning, he would ask one of the students to lead the flag salute. Before that name was called, my hands would clam up. About once a month, he'd forget about my note saying that I was a Jehovah's Witness, and he would call on me to lead the allegiance. "I can't," I said. He looked at me confused, then remembered I was one of those Jehovah's and asked someone else. The other kids looked at me weird until the bell rang for first period. Persecution. And 2 minutes of heart pumping every morning during the flag salute. Every day I prayed not to be taunted as the non-flag saluter. At the Kingdom Hall, we heard Jehovah's Witness kids had gone to jail for not saluting the flag in the 1930s and 40s. During those 2 minutes of possibly doing time, during those 2 minutes, the possibility of doing time in a maximum security prison bounced through my skull. Camille liked me, and it cleared up a lot of embarrassing things in my life. So after typing my essay on the importance of the history of the American flag from the chalkboard, I put another piece of paper in the typewriter and I wrote, "Dear Camille, will you go steady with me? From Gabe." My hand shook with nerves as I slipped the note into her locker. Once the note disappeared into the air vent of that dark space of her locker, the deal was done. I saw her the next day. She smiled at me. the biggest smile I'd ever seen from her, showing all of her crooked teeth. Usually she smiled with her lips shut, hiding those teeth, but she showed them to me, and as I waited for her to answer my question. She said hi and touched my arm.